What's going on? It's Fist, bringing it straight from my heart from me to you, because that's what I do. Call of Duty Ghost, my very first PS4 commentary. I finally got a game to where, like, the graphics look great on this too. Oh my god, you see these graphics? Of course I am using the U3 cap, AverMedia. Shout out to AverMedia. AverMedia PS4 gameplay, amazing. I would highly suggest it if you want some high quality type graphics. Or not high quality, I mean you know, high quality 1080. If you have the computer that can upload and do the rendering and all that, by all means get the AverMedia UCAP 3. I highly suggest it. So anyways, PSN was down or something like that. I couldn't play Blacklight. Obviously, you've seen that commentary on my channel today. I was going to do two Blacklight commentaries, one here and one over there, but I decided that I wanted to do this Call of Duty commentary because I wanted to see what you guys think about how the actually, I like playing Call of Duty better on the PS4 because you get more game, you get a lot more different people in Ground War. You know, and I don't mind it. Like I said, I still think Call of Duty is a decent game, but I just don't think it's a next gen, you know, as far as like organic visceralness, you know what I mean? It just seems like it's, you know, it just seems like the same old type cartoony graphics, and I'm not down for that, you know? After you play like Killzone and Blacklight Retribution on the PS4, you think you deserve better, especially in a game like this that's been out for 8 years. You would expect to see some next-gen graphics. I mean, like night to day, sun and, you know, nighttime, nightfall, whatever, blah blah blah. You know, you want to see that. So like when I'm playing this game, I'm not really viscerally entertained. You know, I'm just playing it out of habit. I'm not really into, you know, playing the game, you know, and enjoying it. Whereas when I'm playing Blacklight, you know, I catch myself looking at stuff, or Killzone, I catch myself looking at stuff. When I'm playing Call of Duty, it's like, you know, they sit there and they go, "Oh, look at the 5 different layers of the graphics on the ground and the rocks and shit. Get out of here! I don't see any trees waving back and forth. I don't see no shadow like shadow contrasting hitting me or nothing like that. You go into Killzone or you go into a Blacklight and you're like, holy shit! Look at these graphics, you know. And yeah, whatever. It's 60 frames per second. Blah blah blah. I don't really care. I don't really care. I mean, I don't care. I mean, 60 frames. You know, if they can figure out how to do 60 frames, go ahead and do it. If they can't, it doesn't mean much to me personally when you're not reaching. I would rather have Call of Duty go to whatever 35, 40 frames to have better graphics like Killzone and Blacklight Retribution. I don't know if you feel that way. I don't care about 60 frames per second. I know Jive Turkey was talking about, oh, I'm never going back to 60 frames. You know, oh, well, you know, whatever. I mean, I'm all about graphics and, like, playing and being immersed in what I'm playing. I don't want to be playing in Street Fighter practice stage where it's just blank, you know what I mean? Why don't you just, if you want to do that, just make a Call of Duty game where it's just a big square gray room and have people shoot at each other behind objects with no, you know, distinction in it. You know what I mean? It's not fulfilling to me. I'm not feeling it. So I wanted to post this though because, like I said, the AverMedia delivers. Here's a little trick I want to tell you too. If you have the AverMedia UCAP 3, I just call it the UCAP or the U3. If you have that, and you're like, and sometimes the dashboard goes out on you while you're recording, it's because you're recording in low settings. If you're gonna record in the max settings. That's what it's made for. So that's my little tip from me to you if you're having trouble trying to figure out why your AverMedia is not recording or cutting off while you're recording. So anyways, another thing about Call of Duty and Blacklight and other Killzone games is that you don't, there's not a lot of things in the game that you hear as you hear in those games. You hear everything in Blacklight. You hear everything in Killzone. When you're playing this game, you might hear a couple dogs barking in the background or some chirping, and the rest of it's cut out. You hear like footsteps of the other enemy. You don't hear like, you know, a bunch of other shit going on. I mean, it is to an extent, but it's not like turned up. So like you're not feeling like you're not feeling it. And that's another thing that I'm starting to realize when I'm playing these other shooters. It's like, you know, okay, they took out a lot of stuff, and they're not really, you know, it's not as loud or as crazy as these other games. And I foresee, you know, I see Raven Software take over China's free-to-play Call of Duty in China, and I'm saying to myself, you know, I mean, maybe that's what they're setting Raven up for, is to do free-to-play for the next Call of Duty. I mean, I would rather have Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer do free-to-play games, because the simple reason is this, is because the games would be so much deeper. You're giving them 3 years to make the games. Like, what is that going to do? You're still, at the end of the day, after 3 years, the project is over. You know what I mean? They're going on to the next whatever crazy idea or implementation is, instead of like having real-time solutions during the game being out. You know, I would rather have 1 or 2 studios working on a game that's they would say, okay, this is version 2.5, you know, it's the major update for the free-to-play online game, you know, and then everybody would have to buy new stuff because the old stuff was terrible. You know what I mean? Like, just like in Diablo 3, you know, your old equipment is not going to rank up to, you know, the same as, like, for instance, a Wind Force is 700 damage, and then the new Diablo 3, the Wind Force is 2,500 damage. You see what I'm saying? Like, so the point being is, they could continuously adding things onto the game to keep you interested over the years on the game, and just do a major update if they wanted you to spend the money, instead of just dropping a new game on us that's completely different from the other game every single year. So it's like you piss people off. You make the game, 21 million people buy your game, and they expect the next game to be an upgrade in graphics, a little bit tweak here and there, and release the game. Instead, what do? You completely change the game. You have the same shitty graphics. And what do you expect? You expect people to stay around? I mean, how long do you think that this game is going to last if you keep changing shit? You know what I mean? You don't see McDonald's changing the Big Mac. The Big Mac has been around for 30 years. Big Mac. I mean, come on, man. If the Big Mac works, man, why mess with it? Not the McBLT, not the McRib, not whatever other fucking fruitcake hamburger you want to make. The Big Mac. The Big Mac. So that's what Call of Duty is. Call of Duty is the motherfucking Big Mac. You can't change greatness. When somebody comes up with a formula, that's what it is. And then you got a title forever in the history of gaming. The Big Mac game. So why are they messing with the game? And then here's another thing. Here's what I really don't like. I don't like the fact that they slap a Call of Duty name on the game. That's what Battlefield started. You know, they're copying Battlefield. And that's why it's a losing formula. That's why it's a losing idea. You know, Battlefield, they had a winning formula with Battlefield 2 Modern Combat. They fucked it up. But they kept the name. Battlefield Bad Company. They fucking bamboozled people. People feel fucking jaded. And that is what's going to happen in this Call of Duty. You can't release a Call of Duty and be like, oh, it's the same as the other Call of Duties, when it's fucking not. It's something completely else. It's like, throw as much toilet paper on the wall, see what sticks, and hopefully people will like this version, and we'll build off of that one. You know, they're so clueless. I don't know what else to say about it. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to show you the PS4. I actually enjoy playing Call of Duty on PS4. I'm at the point where I don't even touch my Xbox One anymore, because it's totally useless. Nobody wants to play online with the PS4 or the Xbox One. So, like, why the fuck would I play on the Xbox One if nobody wants to play the game? I'm not going to be somewhere where nobody's at. I'm going to go play where everybody else is at. That's the PS4. And that's the bottom line. And that's where it's going to be at until, you know, Xbox One drops the price of their console by $150. They're going to have to drop the price of their console. Nobody's buying their console. And I don't give a damn how much time and money you spend on fixing it. Why don't you just drop the price and everybody will come to the console? You know, they're so stupid. But anyways, that's okay. I'm happy on the PS4. It seems to me the lag degradation on the PS4, they fixed this. That's another thing I want to point out. You don't get as much lag degradation in coming around certain turns and stuff. So they did it. They did a good job in that. I think they've updated the PS4 where they got rid of that finally. And maybe because I made that video. You know, it seems like to me that patch came out right after I made that video where I was like, yo, what the fuck, you know, what is this? You know, it's annoying. But, you know, I think they're taking care of where their crowd is at, and that's on the PS4. So I think you guys are getting some care that you never used to get before, and they understand that this is the last stronghold of the Call of Duty community. But with Blacklight Retribution and other great first-person shooters like Killzone out there, I don't know, especially Blacklight. It's free. I don't know how you guys are sticking around on the PS4. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this commentary. Now get the fuck out of here.